All right. Hey, everybody. What is happening? What is happening? What's happening? What's happening? I'm Nick Baldwin. We are live here on Lab Coat Agents, and we have a pretty awesome webinar in store for you today. We're going to talk about how you guys can offer a lot more value to your database than just the regular, home value update, just the regular, hey, how you doing, with nothing to actually say in your phone call kind of follow up. We want to teach you how to be more of um, an advisor, like more of a homeowner real estate advisor to your clients, much like, there's an advisor in mostly every aspect of every industry. And the most noticeable is the finance industry. Like if you have a financial consultant or a financial planner, they're advising you on what your money's doing. But we don't really have someone, at least the real estate agent, isn't actually doing this as much as they could be doing it. We don't have the real estate agent playing the part of an advisor in their role after the consumer closes the transaction. Like, what is the home doing on a regular basis? How is it affected by outside sources that are happening within the neighborhood? And so there's a new system that we love called Cocoon, and that's Kukun, and you can go to cocoon.ai if you want to check it out. But Cocoon is a homeowner advisor dashboard that offers all of these amazing insights to help you guys with bringing more value. Hey, is the chat hey Monch, is the chat enabled? I just want to make sure it's enabled because no one's saying hello, and usually people are saying hello. Okay, great. Say hello in the chat so we know you're there. We have the one of the co-founders and COO of Cocoon. His name is Scott, and he's on with us right now. And we're going to show you how you guys can level up your value, especially now with all of this wacky commission stuff going on. We want to offer as much value as possible. We want people to, no matter what, continue to work with us. And it's just a whole new way of staying in touch with on a much deeper level. So thanks for being here, Scott. I hope I wasn't too long-winded there.
Thanks, Nick. No, it's a great introduction.
People want to know the site that we're talking about. So Brendan, if you want to drop that in the chat, they can go check it out. But right now we're going to show you a cool presentation around what Cocoon is and how it can help you um, get more repeat business and referrals from your database. Let's
All right,
go
well,
right ahead.
let's dive in then. Yeah, thank you, Nick. My name's Scott Langmack, as Nick said, and we're going to talk about this construct of home investment advisor for both more repeat business referrals, but also for near-term listings, which is a big one. But let's start at what a big problem that we're working on solving. And that is the results that came from a NAR study recently. Most people are probably aware of it, that only 27% of people select their prior agent on their subsequent transactions. That means 73% of people are selecting a new agent. And that might be 3 years or 5 years or 8 years later, but it's a big number. We call that the loyalty gap. And the loyalty gap we see as the biggest problem in the entire real estate industry, because it costs 5 to 10 times more in lead gen and marketing to get a new customer than it does to retain an old customer. Right? This is an important point. This is true for consumer products, all kinds of businesses, but retaining a customer is by far your best source of your next lead. The other reason it's a big deal is that for every 200 clients people have, every month someone's listing their home. Are you the one getting that listing? Because if you're not, somehow there's a contact you have that's making a choice, and that could be you. And so the question then, let's see is why is this happening? Well, clearly it's really hard to stay in touch, especially with a broader contact list. So is it 100 or 200 or 500 or whatever the number is? That's just hard. But the other thing is that it's hard to stay in touch in a way that is undifferentiated, right? So most agents are sending the same kinds of quarterly data, market trends, recent prices, days on market, or recipes, things like that. But it all ties them to being a real estate transactor.
I
And
never
if I'm
understood
not,
an agent sending recipes. I mean, were we selling houses or are we auditioning for, Top Chef? What do we
well,
do?
my wife's an agent, and she likes doing that because it's a personal touch of a personal kind of connection. So I get it, right? I get it. I'm sure that there's others
But
out
there's
there
no recipes built into
that do the same
Kukun though,
thing.
right?
We don't do recipes, right? Exactly. Um, so this is the question, is how to add value after the transaction beyond the standard kinds of things that are typically sent. And that's the goal, is to get people to be seen as that trusted advisor for many people, not just a handful.
Yeah, very cool. Okay.
So let's go into the foundation of loyalty here, just for a minute. Like we're talking about, we need loyalty. What is the foundation of loyalty? Well, the first question here is, are you able to bring unique data points, unique and interesting things to your customers? If you're bringing the same things everyone else is bringing, then again, that's undifferentiated and that's not terribly helpful. So something unique is really important. The second one is, it's not just unique data, but it's really valuable, something people want to know. Like they see the data and they're like, wow, I'm happy. I'm glad I saw that. That's interesting. That adds value to me. Um, and then the third one is frequency, so that it's a regular thing. And these three components are really the big challenge, right? The big challenge for all agents to develop loyalty is to deliver frequent and unique value, and that is the challenge of doing this over time as well. So if you can deliver frequent, unique value, then you're going to be in that foundation of loyalty. Make sense? All right. So for the home investment advisor, going beyond the real estate transaction, then the construct basically says that there are a series of things every homeowner needs to solve. And the first one is, people love to keep an eye on their home value, and a home investment advisor can help them get a feel for where is their home value over time. And also home investment guidance. Where do you put money? What's the ROI? What kind of remodels would you do, for example? And then neighborhood insights, like what's going on in my neighborhood that matters, that might affect my business, my home value. And then we have sales activity updates. These are pretty much the norm, and a lot of agents are good at those. And then also, how do you keep the home in shape? So that's maintenance and contractor access, things like that. This kind of thing is a lot. And a lot of agents do this intuitively with bits and pieces. But the challenge, of course, um, is trying to sort out, how do we do it at scale? So what are these challenges? If you buy into the idea that I want to advise people and provide them insight into all those things we just showed, then the challenge is getting access to unique data on a regular basis, doing it in a way that is personalized by customer, right? Because you can't just send everybody the same thing all the time and have them feel like it, is really adding value and changing. And the other challenge for keeping in touch with people is, how do you keep on it year in, year out, month in, month out, just have it always be going, so you have that frequency and regularity. And so there is the other component, which is, all those things need to scale to hundreds of customers in order for you to really accomplish that goal. Um, so let's talk about Kukun then. So Kukun is at the simplest level. It's a suite of homeowner applications, all very unique. They are weekly email alerts that homeowners want to see. So these are a lot of this unique value components that we're talking about. And everything that we do at Kukun with agents is branded by the agent. So this is a system where you upload contacts, 300, 500, up to 1,000, and then all those contacts will get these regular updates from you, the agent. And so the way we do it here is we have it covered in a one-stop dashboard. And I think, Nick, you had some thoughts about similarities between this and the investment side.
Yeah. So, I mean, I feel like, as I mentioned earlier before in the introduction, it's very much like an investment portfolio, like your credit score, what's your net worth, how much you have in a certain investment account, how much your accounts are growing. This kind of like does the same thing in the sense of like it gives you your property score, so your PICO score as opposed to your FICO score, your home value, how much your home is expected to increase, and how much equity you have in it, and how much would your home increase if you were to do X, Y, and Z, update the kitchen, update the bathroom, whatever it might be, showing you different comps in recent sales. So not just comps, but also recent sales. So houses that are similar to yours and anything else. And then I love that it shows, if someone takes out a permit, what the permit was for and how that could affect the home value of your house. So I think like it's very much similar to like I use a system called Monarch, which is it attaches to every for financial, it attaches to every account that I have from like savings to mortgage to investment. And it looks very much like this. Not as pretty, but it shows you what your money's doing. So this is showing what your house is doing based on different outside uh, you know, things that might affect it.
So, yeah, I really like that parallel that Nick draws. Just as your financial advisor gives you a dashboard of what your money's doing, Cocoon's allowing you to give your homeowners a single dashboard of what their home is doing. So let's dig into this a little bit. One thing that I'll just feature right from the beginning is that everything's branded from the agent always, and it's got contact info there if they want to reach out. And we have these little sections where customers can write in a question at any time, and they can send whatever it is they want. Click send, and that goes as a text right to the agent. So one of the things we're trying to do is not just have this be something that shows up, but always present the agent as expert and encourage conversation. It's really meant to be something that helps people think of ideas and reasons why to talk to the agent and connect with the agent. An example of some of the typical emails that go out. Nick mentioned we have the permits, and we do some summaries on those just to let people know what's happening in their neighborhood that's close to them. People get a kick out of that. I'll show you a little more on that one. And if we dig into a couple key things here, one is Nick mentioned the property condition score called PICO. We allow people to go in and update when they did certain remodels. There's more details. Did they do a roof or flooring, whatever it might be? And when they update that, then they get a updated property condition score. That score is a numeric value essentially of how new the house is. So if you redid an entire house and rebuilt everything, you'd be getting close to 850. A brand new home is 850. Everything's new. But how new the house is will directly affect the home value. And so in this way, we give you and the homeowners the ability to dial in home value beyond just what shows up from Redfin or Zillow or all these numbers that show up. And this really helps agents as they're working with their customers on CMAs. we still underscore and that the agent is your best expert. So whatever the Kukun number is, the agent can do a better number on a CMA. So it's just always pointing to the agent as expert here. And then we also allow agents and homeowners to update the number if they just want to see a different number on the dashboard that they believe is a better home value number. One of our most popular apps in the dashboard
Oh, can you
is
hear me,
this.
Scott?
Yeah, I did hear you, Nick. I wonder if your connection's frozen.
Oh, hey, how do you get the numbers? Like, sorry, is my, oh, really? Can you hear me though?
Yeah, it's
I'm
coming in
having
and out a
bad
little bit.
Zoom
Yeah.
problems today.
Okay.
Okay. My question is, let me know if you can understand what I'm saying. How do you get those numbers from the estimates? Can you hear me or
Yes,
no?
we can hear you. So at the core, Cocoon's a data and analytics company. We've been serving banks and insurance companies for many years. We have the leading renovation cost estimator in the
Oh,
industry.
not the home investment, the house value.
Oh, home value. Well, that's a similar answer. We have one of the top
Like,
home
yeah, like this.
valuation
Yeah.
teams. We have one of the top home valuation teams in America. Our lead
Okay.
scientist was the lead modeler at Fannie Mae. He built some of the core models that drives the entire Fannie Mae banking industry valuations, and he's able to take his expertise combined with
Okay.
a lot of unique data that Cocoon has to create really good models on home value and that's where that comes from.
Okay. Perfect. Got it.
Yeah. Um, on the home investment side, the estimator is based on local material costs, local labor costs. All the costs are localized down to the zip code. So whichever home, wherever you are, and there's a whole exercise we could do. I'm not doing a demo today, just showing you a result, but it's a lot of fun. You can do details on kitchen remodels, bathrooms, roofs, whatever it is. And we always show what it'll increase the home value because that's a good starting point. People like to know. One of the things
Yeah.
banks
Also,
do with,
also, I can show my screen for a second if you want to stop sharing for 1 sec.
yeah,
Um, yeah, I just want to show that when you do that, when you calculate a construction cost, let's say you want to redo your this in this case, this is a kitchen, I think, and it'll show you, you know, the increase in the home value, um, the homeowner budget, materials, labor costs, and then your profit. But then it also breaks down, how much each piece is going to cost, you know, um, to basically like the penny. You know what I mean? So you could give this to a contractor and you're choosing between like lowest cost, medium cost, and high end cost. So if you give it to a contractor, they can kind of go off of this, you know?
yeah, exactly. That's our contractor level final report, we call it, and uh, we have a lot of fix and flippers that use this and just like find contractors on Cocoon and give them the contractor level detail for what they want to do, and they get really good bids. It helps. It
Oh,
helps with
Josh,
getting.
Josh in the chat is confused. It's not 5,000 a month. I don't know where he got that from.
Oh,
No, no, no. Josh, we have a very good deal at the end where it's $200 off an entire year. And so it's what, $65 a month, right?
it ends up being about 65, I think, a month. Yeah, after the
Yeah, I'm not
deal.
sure where the
Yeah.
5K came from. Maybe you misunderstood something Scott said, but it's definitely not 5,000 a month. No. What's the matter? What's the matter, Josh? Come on, shell it out. So, all right, go ahead. Sorry.
Um, yeah. Okay. So I'll go back and share then. Let's see. And take back the screen here. Okay. Um, so that's the estimator. We mentioned permits. The way that we do permits is we give a map. The pink is always the customer's home, so they can come and have a look and see that nearby there's a kitchen remodel or a new office building, whatever it might be. They just select that item, and then the permit itself comes up with the permit description. And if we have the contractor information, it's there. Um, so people just get a kick out of, all these things and being able to see them. Similarly, we have comps in purple, recent sales in orange. Comps are recent sales, of course, that our analytics team has identified as a good comp for a particular house. And the way we show comps, once you select on it, is we show the comp house compared to the homeowner's home, or what we call the subject home. And then we give a little mini version of what appraisers do to just show side by side what are the difference between the comp and the subject home, square footage, cost per square feet, PICO scores, things like that. So
If you want, I can show. If you want, I can show it in real time. If you want me to show that.
yeah, that would be cool. I'll stop sharing and give it back to
Okay,
you.
so yeah, I'll just go over here in real time. So this is a dashboard for a property. And um, so if I go over here to the upcoming construction and click on the C map, I can then like click on. So here's the house. Let's see if I click on this. You can see when I click on it, what happens on the right-hand side. It scrolls up to the property, general remodel, and it looks like they're redoing electrical. So that's something, and it's going to cost $25,000. I want to click on this one. They're redoing building alteration. So maybe they're, I don't know, that's probably like renovating something on the inside. Anyway, it's going to cost 19,000, 20,000. Um, this is redoing another building alteration. Permit description. So basically, like if you're unsure of, what the actual description is, you can always call the township and give them the permit number, and they can tell you exactly what it is. Sometimes it's more obvious than others. You know what I mean?
Yeah, different towns give different levels of specificity on what permits are about.
Yeah.
Generally, you get a pretty good view from the summary that we provide, but that's
Margaret's
the
asking, this is a very cool question with a cool answer. How do you get that data with the permits?
we have a large team of people that work full time pulling permits from the top cities in America every day. So we get as
They're
many as
basically
300.
plugged into the zoning boards or construction boards for the
We
most
get
part.
yeah, we go to the cities. Every city has a building department that we extract permits from. It's part of a Freedom of Information Act. They're all public. Officially, it's public information, so we're not revealing anything. And someone asked small towns. Yeah, we're generally have a cutoff around 15 to 20,000 people town sizes. When the towns get much smaller, the the economics of getting those permits doesn't really pay out as much. But in time, we'll be adding more and more towns so that
Yeah, so if you're
if you are in a
selling in a
small
town
town,
that's got 20 more than 20,000 people, there's a good chance that um
yeah,
there'll be some information there.
exactly, yeah. Um, all right, we'll do a little bit more on the overview here. I like this system where if people want to see live, that Nick does the live work, and that way I'm not over demoing here. But just a quick plug, home maintenance is included. This is something where every 2 weeks people will get an update on what their schedule is for their home. So we create based on the zip code what the home should do. It's particularly important for markets where there are it's in the freezing zones of America, so that you know what time in the fall to put the hose away and what time to get the sprinklers going and when to fertilize and when to prune trees. All those things are handled. And then every one of them comes with a see how. And on the see how, then this little video comes up. We have curated videos from all over YouTube to find the best videos that are the simplest ones to help people follow along on how to do it. Or we have a step-by-step instruction. And then lastly, we because we pull all these permits, we have 100 and almost 200 million permits. Contractors are the ones who file for permits, and so we take that all those permits and we do analytics on the contractors, and we can tell which contractors have done what permits over many, many years, 25 years or so. Based on the pace of permits that they do, how many they open and close, and at what kind of pace and cadence, we're able to sort out which contractors are really reliable. And so we give them a Kukun reliability rating. And then we balance that with user reviews that we scrape from Google and Yelp and Angie and all those. So this is really cool because it's the only unbiased source for contractor information there is that you'll find on the internet. Everywhere else that you see, whether it's Angie, whatever, the homeowner is the product. And so they're always going to serve up agents. I mean, sorry, the contractors are going to serve up contractors to homeowners that are paying for that lead. We don't do that. We're just here as a service to the homeowner and the agent to provide the best summaries of contractors.
You know what? So Javier is asking a question in the chat. Is this info tailored on a per zip code basis to be sent to your sphere? So I think so. This is meant for the client to play around with, but I think a good example of showcasing it to somebody would be like if you're going on a listing consultation, because as an agent you have a dashboard. If you're going on a listing consultation, you say to them, your house is worth this, but if you upgraded the bathroom, it'd be worth this. So you could then go in there and create a estimate for them and say, hey, it's only going to cost, $5,000 to do a basic Home Depot remodel of this powder room that will really help. So yeah, in that sense, but otherwise it's for the client to do themselves and to interact with.
Yeah, it's meant to be kind of both, just the way you described, client led or agent led.
Yeah.
The example you gave, Nick, we have lots of agents that will use this on listing presentations. We have a version of the estimator we call prep to sell, and that just highlights the interior, exterior paint, floors, things that are the typical freshen up to get the best bang for the buck
Do
on
you
the
guys want to
sale.
see that? They want to see that. So I can show
Okay.
it.
Okay,
So if you want
good.
to stop
Do
sharing,
that.
I'll show it real quick. Um, so Lori in the chat is saying needs to know all the data sources, already dealing with a bunch of inaccurate quote data from homes.com. So yeah, well the data, okay, let's start with the data source for the construction. We already told you it's comes from the zoning boards, right? Um, the data for the updated home value comes from your guy who used to work at Fannie Mae, you said?
We have a whole team. He brought a whole team over from Fannie Mae, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, and then what other data source are we looking at? Comps, does that come from the MLS? Where does that come from?
Comps is MLS, but what separates a recent sale from a comp is our analytics team identifies which of the
Right.
homes that we're selling.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the
So
same
a comp would
analytics
be a
team
house
does
that
that.
we could be comparable because not every sale is comparable.
Yeah. It's a good,
Got it.
the ones that are more benchmark. Um, the other one has to do with the local labor and material costs for construction, and that's a really deep process that we go through where we do material cost checks for across the country and zip codes in all the states, and then we also do if we have for construction costs, there's some standardized nationwide syndicated books on labor and material costs that we digitize as well. And then we have a check and balance process that we do with contractors and estimators on a regular basis to make sure we're getting in the right zone. Happy for you to be tough, Lori. That's totally cool.
Let me show
We
you
like
guys.
answering those questions.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, let me show you guys the Pico property score thing real quick, and then I'll show you so like let's say I was gonna remodel some stuff. I was like watch over here on the right hand side where the property condition score. let's say I want to, let's say I went in and and I know that I remodeled the kitchen in 2023. You can see, boom, it's updating already to 706. Let's say I redid the main bathroom in 2022, and it's going to update to 719. And let's just say like I did, in 2021. So now my Pico score is 725. When I go back to the dashboard up at the top, you'll see everything change. So this will go up, and then the home value will then go up. No, it didn't go up actually. Well,
It
yes,
will.
there we
It
go.
will. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, there we go. It's like a slot machine. It's pretty sweet. And I love the animation. Super fun. Okay, so that's how that works. I'm going to estimate. So I'm going to do the renovation cost estimator. So I'm going to, these are other examples that I did in the past, but let's say I'm going to estimate any project. So let's just say I'm going to do like, let's just do like master bathroom. All right, so I'll continue. And so it could be a renovation, expansion, or addition. Let's just do a renovation. And so this is like everything, right? So this is maybe I just want to do like what if I Scott, what if I just wanted to do like a surface level? Would it just be like counters and backsplash basically? Or like, what if
Yeah,
I
we
just
would
want
we would probably direct you to do counters and backsplash itemized from the other list. So if you're going to do a room, usually people do half or more of the items in a room.
okay,
Otherwise,
so
we
let's
have another list where you can just pick counters, for example.
yeah, so let's say I'm just gonna do like cabinets, counters, backsplash. Like it's not gonna be like, you know, anything having to do with tub or toilets or anything. It's just very surface
Sure.
level. And so I'll continue because the property is already in there. So this is a master bathroom, by the way. So if it's, but then you could go over here. So this looks expensive, right? But if I do this, then it's only, 9,000. And of course, this is just like uh, this is, you could obviously negotiate, right? But, and then it's a high levels at 21, low level at 9,000.
So that's yeah,
And then
the
if I
the
want to apply
value
the
that
profit, so it
yeah,
would be a $4,300 profit. And then you can email yourself the full report. So if I click get a detailed report of this plan, it'll email it to me. Um, I can email it to myself, and it looks like this. It looks like this when it's sent to you, you know? So,
yeah. And
but anyway,
then
that's kind of how that looks.
yeah, and
But
I'll
if I
just
don't want to, if
explain.
I don't want to use a general contract, I want to do it myself, shows you how much it's going to be, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, the just one explanation of the difference between the value, quality, and luxury. That those change the value of what's going in, right? So you get a cheaper counter, medium or expensive counter,
Right.
cheaper cabinets, medium or expensive. The range we provide is customized for every house so that the low amount we provide is as cheap as you should go for that house. If you spend less, you're under investing in the house. It'll look like it's not as good as the price range of the
Right. You
house
might as well
is, basically.
leave it where it is.
Yeah. And then we provide the high end because a lot of times people will overspend. They'll have a $400,000 house and they'll put in materials that, maybe deserve to be in a $1.5 million house. And so you're not going to get your money back if you overspend for the value of the house either.
One of the things I thought was kind of cool was, and I forgot to show this. So like you could choose a remodeling or prep it for a sale of a property, which will give you a different price, right? So
But and,
like
and
maybe
it
you
and
just,
it focuses, yeah, it focuses on the things you're more likely to do to like interior, exterior paint. All the
yeah.
options are there still, but yeah.
So let's say I was going to do kitchen and I was just going to do counters, backsplash. I wasn't going to do anything else, right? So then it'll keep that in mind. which is kind of cool because you're not upgrading to, you know, to live in the home. You're upgrading to list it to get it ready for sale, right?
Yeah. And then
Uh,
if you want to, you can click modify there and just show people how they can update all the details if they want.
oh, let's try that again.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So this is painting the rooms. Okay, gotcha. I clicked on interior paint. Okay, so kitchen and then okay, we're not going to do this. Okay, so you said modify, it's below, right?
Yeah.
Right
So
here.
yeah. Now
Oh,
that
okay,
opens up
gotcha.
all the options. So you can go
Oh,
through
that's
and
cool. So you
mix and
can do
match
the exact
quality
square
levels.
footage. Yeah, you could do like the exact square footage to make it more specific. Oh, got it. Are you moving things around? Square foot. Okay, that's awesome. Okay, so you can get really specific. Okay, cool. So this could even go lower than 17, than 11,000 if you did it the right way.
Yeah, I
I
mean
like,
you could do any and then
yeah.
typically this is designed for the whole room remodel, so there's some structural work assumed in that price as well. So if you're just going to do counters, then there's an option on the estimator just to pick counters rather than to pick a room.
So Lori had a great question. Okay, so this feature you're showing, could this tempt folks to not consult their real estate advisor? So here's how I look at it. Like I have a financial advisor and she,
Whoops, looks like we lost Nick's connection.
oh, am I there? Am I
Yeah,
there
you're
now?
back now. You're back.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
we
was, I'm
lost you
having
when you.
Zoom problems today.
Okay,
What I was
yeah.
going to say to Lori about her, could this feature that you're showing tempt folks with their real estate advisor? So I have a financial advisor and she has a dashboard, but I still am consulting with her because, let's say like, hey, Nick, do you think that this estimate is okay? Do you think this is like, they would consult you on the estimate or like, I would say, hey, I have a guy who could do this for X amount instead of this. Or like, my financial advisor would say, hey, this says if I cut out this, I would be able to save this. It doesn't matter. Like, I'm still going to consult the expert. I have the computer program to help me, but I'm still going to go consult my expert. And the whole thing is branded to you anyway. They could ask you questions up at the top. They get
Yes.
texted to you. I mean, I was playing on it the other day and I got notified. Hold on, let me see what the notification was for. It was for um oh, Nick Baldwin just reacted to an email by visiting recent sales on their dashboard. Nick's phone number and email are. So I get notified when I go in and do certain things too through text message, which is kind of awesome.
Yeah, that's one of the key things we're working on, particularly if someone does a prep to sell estimate, right? That means they went to the estimator, they didn't choose remodel, they chose prep to sell, and then they did something. Well, there's only, one reason someone chooses prep to sell. So notifying the agent is a really good point of contact at that step.
Yeah, obviously you don't want to make the call and be like, I noticed you are prepping to sell on my dashboard. Just have a conversation about them, something. Don't be too obvious.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, what else you have left on the slides, Scott? Because I'm sure people want to know the deal we've got going on.
Yeah, let's do that. Let me get to the sharing. What happened? What screen am I sharing? Am I sharing the right one there? Can't tell what's happening. Let's start over. I've got to pick the right screen to share. Here we go. Okay.
No, that's
So
the notes.
I've got the okay, let's try this again.
That
Sure,
looked like
what's
it was
happening?
right.
So this should be the right one.
Yeah, I can see top of mind for near term.
Right.
listings
Okay,
and
we're on
long-term
track.
loyalty.
So this, yeah, this is just the summary. The whole point here is to be top of mind for the near-term listings and the long-term loyalty. And just a quick note about Cocoon. We have lots of top customers, Nationwide Insurance, PNC Bank, US Bank. So we've been in the real estate analytics and insight business for 10 years. Not a brand new company. We're not experimental, big teams and big customers. But we are newish to entering the agent space. Here's the deal. So our typical price is $996 a year. And we have a deal for LCA today for LCA webinar people is $200. That's what this promo code provides. It's VXLC200, very exclusive lab coat 200 is one way to sort of summarize that. And that gets it all down to 65 a month. Um, and as I mentioned before, you can get up to 1,000 contacts. The more, the better. Right? So we have some people that, or a lot of people that like to put in their clients that they've done work with before, their broader personal contact list of 200 or 400 people, and they'll put in another 300 or 400 people that they're prospecting, they're farming, because it's a great farming tool as well, just to keep showing up with really interesting information. When people get
Mark, I just dropped it in the chat. Look a couple. I just dropped it in the chat, but I'll do it again. This deal is so Kelly's asking how good is this deal for? This is the LCA price.
Yes.
So it's good for as long as we partner with Cocoon. So hopefully it'll be longer than this webinar. Just kidding. It's longer than the webinar. It's good for a
Yeah.
long time. Don't worry. I've been playing around with it for several months. I love it. And Josh is asking, are all the features that we showed today included in the price?
Yes.
Yeah, there's a couple things that are like add-ons, but we didn't get into that. But everything we showed you today is included in that.
Yeah, and then what we'd encourage, if anybody's interested, is that we can go to cocoon.ai and just request a demo, and we'll be happy to do a one-on-one demo. And then on that, we can also show the agent administrative side of it. So, for example, one thing agents can do is agents can look at the dashboard of every one of their customers to see, what is my customer seeing? If you get a question from them, or if you are even thinking of checking in with them on something, you can go see what does their dashboard say about their house,
Yeah.
and you can bring up an interesting idea, or topic
Yeah.
from some cool data that comes from the dashboard as well.
So the caveat here is that it's $200 off for the annual price. So you do have to get the whole year for 77.76, and that brings it
Yeah.
down to 65 a month. They do want to know, is there what happens if is there a period of time where like if they play around with it and it's not working for them, that they could, because there's no 7-day trial. What do we do about that? Someone's asking.
Yeah, we haven't done any trials. We do have a general policy that if you upload 50 or more clients for 3 months and you decide you don't want it, then we can do a refund. But we like
Oh,
people to
okay.
get started, because it can't really work unless you put in, a critical
All right,
mass of customers.
that's a good deal. So
Yeah.
upload 50 to 100 clients, or book a demo with Brendan on on cocoon.ai. Yeah, if you upload 50 or more clients and you don't like it after 90 days, then chat with sales and they'll take care of you, which is a good deal.
Yeah.
But you got to use it, right? That's why you say you got have to have 50 people in there, because if you don't have
Yeah.
50 people in there, you're not using it,
Yeah, and
you
then
know?
also important to say is that it is set it and forget it if you don't want to spend time on it, right? So once you upload those 50 to 100 or 1,000, whatever you upload, it runs, right? It just runs. You don't have to work it, manage it, do anything. If you want to work it and manage it, great, but you don't need to. It'll
Yeah.
keep pinging
I
your
also think
customers. Yeah.
for buyers agents, it's a huge value because now as a buyer agent, you got to have a buyer listing presentation. So I feel like in a buyer agent consultation, to get a buyer agreement. This is a great thing to show them that something that they get for free after the transaction, so they can keep tabs on how much their home is worth based on all of these different features. I think it's a huge value to them, and it adds value to what you bring to the table in case, for some reason they have to pay part or all of your commission with these new rules. So I think it's a great thing to add to a buyer consultation. So,
Yeah, I'll underscore we've had great feedback from agents providing that to homeowners. They're really excited about their new home, and then they love getting something that's an all-in-one look. Really helpful, especially new home buyers. They love the maintenance side. They're more digital, so it all works for them.
so Brendan, can you drop in the chat the link to schedule a demo with you? Josh in the chat is asking. I think it's on the cocoon.ai site. Oh, there's the
Yeah.
calendar link. Okay, cool. So if anyone wants a demo, schedule with Brendan. If anyone wants to um join, if anyone wants to join, you can just go here. I'll drop it
Yep.
again. And after 90 days, if you've uploaded 50 or more clients and you don't like it, go ahead and let them know and they'll refund you. But it is 776 for the year. You got to pay for the year to get to $65 a month. And um, that's I think pretty good deal for all that you get. Um, okay, if I choose to not continue with Cocoon, does Cocoon continue to use my email addresses? Do they can take the email addresses? What happens? The database goes away? What goes on with that?
Um, yeah, if people right now we basically just give people the option if they're customers of maintaining or turning off Cocoon on their own. So it just depends on what the agents want to do. If the agents say, please
Didn't
stop
you
sending to
also mention? Oh,
go
gotcha.
ahead.
Didn't you also mention that no two, correct me if I'm wrong, but can no two people have the same contact? Is that something you?
Yeah, that's one key thing. Thanks for bringing that up. So, once an agent has a contact and it's in their database with Cocoon, then no one else can provide Cocoon to that customer. And we do that because as you can imagine, if several agents all put their same person in and that same person was getting all this data and dashboards duplicated, it's not as
It'd
good
be so
service to
annoying.
that homeowner. So
I actually
for
think it's a
now,
really
the
good
first,
feature.
yeah, for now it's first come, first serve. Whoever gets that client first, that's them, and other agents can't get them. And one key thing there is it ensures that the uniqueness of Cocoon transfers to you, right? So the agents are seen as delivering that
Yeah.
unique value no one else can deliver to
Hey,
that customer.
Lori, your clients can enter more than one address. So, like, I have three different addresses. So I have added three different dashboards. So if your client, it's just per client, it's just per contact. If your contact has multiple addresses, like a vacation home or an income property and a primary home, they can put all of those in there. It's
Yes,
not based on the properties, based on the person.
yes, that's right.
So, Josh, if you don't continue with Cocoon, you just tell Cocoon that you don't want them sending emails to them anymore, and then you keep the data. We had mentioned that earlier.
Yeah, if you want to if you decide you don't want your customers getting the Cocoon service, then you can tell us, and then we turn that off. Yeah.
Yeah. So sweet guys, this is awesome. Join Brendan for a demo or go to Cocoon .ai and use the code VXLC200 for 200 off. Um, and if you're still not 100% sure, you can always watch this again on YouTube because the recording will be up there right now. And you can join us on the next webinar we do with Cocoon if you want a little bit more information. So we'll be doing a webinar every month or so, if not sooner than that. So it looks like people are liking it, which is awesome. I think it's a cool product and it's different than
Super.
like, your normal everyday CRM, um, which there are a dime a dozen really, and they all basically do the same thing. This is very different and it's a different type of value. So that's why we like it. Awesome, everybody.
Super.
Thanks for being here. We appreciate it. Reach
Thanks
out to
very much.
Brendan. Reach out to Brendan on the Cocoon site or sign up and we'll see you next time.